Hi, I'm Tobias Turley.
And I'm Henry Calvert.
And welcome to Season 2 of The Scene Stealers.
For all things movies,
theatre,
TV,
be it reviews,
news,
and interviews,
we've got you covered.
So, come with us for Season 2 of The Scene Stealers.
For your weekly dose of pop culture goodness.
Hello, and welcome back to Scene Stealers. I'm Tobias Turley.
And I'm Henry Calvert.
Today, we have a lovely episode for you. This is our Wes Andersons special. So, in honour of the Phoenician Scheme?
Phoenician?
But the Venetian scheme makes it sound like he's from
Venice. Yeah.
The Phoenician Scheme comes out soon, so we're going to be talking all things Wes Anderson towards the latter half of this episode. But first, we've got a few things to catch up on.
Indeed.
Chat. Also, elephant in the room, I'm wearing sunglasses because my hay fever is so bad, so if it gets really itchy, I'm going to put these on my eyes to stop my eyes from itching.
Okay.
I forgot to take my tablets. No Alevia for me today. But how are you, Henry?
I'm okay, I'm not bad. Been a busy couple of weeks.
Hasn't it just?
It's just been very, very full on, and I'm a bit knackered, to be honest. And we've got a big weekend this weekend, football tournament.
We do.
Charity football tournament coming up, which is very, very exciting indeed.
I'm excited. We'll tell you about that quickly. The Geekdom...
We will have played it by...
We will have played it, yeah, but just to give you a heads up of what's happening, the Geekdom Geek Talk crew is being organised by Dino Joe, are playing a charity football match this weekend down in Bristol for... I know the name of this. There's the Wallace and Gromit Children's Foundation.
Yes, which it's that and Mind.
Oh, he's got his football shirt here.
And yeah, I will have played in this shirt. As you can see, Wallace and Gromit appeal. Calvert 84.
It's a really nice shirt.
It is a nice shirt. So yeah, we've so far raised quite good sum of money for some good causes.
Yeah, they've beaten the goal, haven't they? Which is amazing. That's the best news. I'm really looking forward to that. There's 6 teams?
No, I think there's 4 teams of 7.
4 teams of 7. I have a wedgie.
I think.
So yeah, me and Henry are on opposite teams, so we're going to be playing at some point.
Yeah,
I'm going to break your legs.
I wouldn't run it past you. I'm not very good.
I'm going to dominate this game. I'm going to dominate this game, by the way.
I'm intending on having a few beers beforehand and taking it very unseriously. I honestly could not really care less about the outcome. I'm just there to have a laugh with my friends.
You guys know me. Well, if you do know me, you'll know I have a very sporty background and I'm very competitive. And like when you play sports at a high level, you don't play for fun. I never played handball for fun. I never
swam for fun.
I never swam for fun. Well, at the beginning I did, but like
I hated it by the end.
In the latter half of both my careers of those, I was like, have you watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine? There's an episode in Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Charles Boyle goes and plays squash with Captain Holt.
All right.
And he's like, I don't want to see Captain Holt. I don't want Captain Holt to see me unleash the beast. And then he goes and plays squash and he's like hitting people with the rackets. Yeah. That's me.
Oh, God.
So everyone's going down. I'm on... So my team is called Banter Bus FC. Not my choice. I'm with Epics, Seamus Gorman. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Seamus. Deck Barham.
So strong.
Solo screenings.
Yeah, strong enough.
Who else have I got?
Yeah, it's a good team.
Yeah, it's a good team. I'm happy with my team, and you're all going down.
Yeah, well, we'll see. By the time this comes out, you'll know who will have won. I guarantee Toby will have played better than me because I'll have just been getting a bit merry and having on.
So my group chat with the team have been talking about what we're wearing, what we're doing after, and I put a message in the chat and I was like, we need to discuss positions, we need to discuss tactics. I was like, look, I'm good in midfield, I'm fast, I'll run the entire game, I'm happy to break legs, I'm happy to go in for a tackle, I'm tall, so I'll get my head on things, I'll go in the centre mid, I'm a good passer, but then if you need a goalie and someone's getting downhearted in goal, I'll go in goal, I'll take up half the goal anyway, with me height. So you'd be a good goalkeeper.
Valid. Yeah, but I have very minimal control of my limbs.
The thing is, I'm more than happy to go diving for it.
Oh, really?
I will scrape my knees and get my hands bloody.
I'd rather not.
I'm getting competitive now. God, I need to calm down.
I don't know, in ours it was, where did people play, or if they had played before, where have you played? And I just said not applicable.
Water boy.
Yeah, it was. I'd either have a singing lesson or play chess during PE.
Babby Boucher.
That was me.
Singing lesson or play chess?
Yeah, I'd organised to have my singing lesson halfway through games, so I didn't need to go, or chess club. So that was my sporting experience at school. But it'll be put to the test this weekend. Speaking of weekends, last weekend was the big day of Tobias and Stevie. Here we go again at Cadogan Hall.
We did it.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Such a good day. A lot of you guys showed up as well, which was really fun in the meet and greet.
It was so great. Oh my god, it was so terrifying. For me, it was a very long day, and it felt like the past 4 months had kind of been leading up to that day. I'd done so much planning and whatever for it, so I was so happy that it went so well, but I'm so glad it's over.
Yeah.
It was so stressful, but it was genuinely one of the best days of my life.
Oh, good.
The best days of my life. And a big shout out does have to go to Mr. Calvert.
Oh, thanks.
Because he kept me grounded on the day. He kept my head in the game.
I
would have, like what you said, I would have gone a bit crazy if I was just there by myself, doing the rehearsals, then sitting in my room by myself. But lovely Henry was there with me. It was great.
It was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure.
It was just such a fun evening. As soon as the first song was out the way, I was enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
Enjoying it so much, and there's some really lovely videos. Yeah, if it's flashy, it means it's not working.
Okay.
It was such a good day. Very, very happy. But yeah, I'm just so good.
I know.
It was a stressful day. But thank you so much to everyone who came, and obviously thank you to Lambert Jackson and everyone who I said thank you to on the day. But God, it was a lot of fun.
It was
Who knows what's next?
We do know what's next.
Well, I do. And actually, it probably has been announced by now, so I'll mention it. If not, I can just cut this out.
Yeah.
Myself and Jacob Fowler are doing another, I'd call it a concert, I guess, at Crazy Cox on the 1st of June. It's called Tobias Turley and Jacob Fowler From Stage to Screen, at 5 p.m, I believe. And it'll just be songs from the movies, and it'll be a more jazzy kind of crooner version of a set list, which will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it'll be really good.
We're now planning that.
Jacob's phenomenal.
Oh, he's so good.
It's only in 2 weeks, so if it has been announced, make sure you sign up or get your tickets.
Yeah, Crazy Cox hasn't got a massive capacity, so get your tickets.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun.
No, that'll be ace. It's a shame I can't make it. But yeah, what else have we been doing? Well, we did go to the Final Destinations Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Special event screening doodad at Battersea Power Station a couple of weeks ago.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a few really cool photo ops. Met some
I missed all of them. I was late.
And then watched the film, which.
Well, so I'd never seen a Final Destination film before, so I didn't really know what to expect. So I came in to the event and I saw the photo ops. Even they looked terrifying, and I'm not good with horror. There was a tattoo photo op on hanging down from a chain, and
then
I was
a skull with a no chain.
And so I sat down next to Henry in the auditorium, and I was pooing my pants. I was really nervous because I hate horror films. I don't mind stuff Get Out, Midsummer, where it's it's a horror, but it's not really a horror.
Yeah.
You'll never catch me watching something like Insidious or Blair Witch Project or something that.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I can watch that because it's old. And they're not really as good back then. I've seen the Halloweens and the Screams and the Psychos. They're some of my favourites actually.
Slasher films are okay.
Yeah, but the newer, more realistic horrors, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very good with those. So I thought I was going to hate this, but actually it wasn't as horror-y as I first thought.
It's not a horror film. It's like a jump scary gore.
It's
thing.
it's almost like.
It's just
comedy
jumpy.
horror.
Yeah.
All the deaths are over exaggerated, and there's a.
And I guess
there's a few deaths where they're just so over the top that they're not scary. They're just a bit whoa. You know?
I think it was. If that's what you enjoy and you embrace it for what it is, then it's perfectly fine.
I know these movies are quite culty, aren't they?
Yeah, people seem to lap these films up.
So I might go back and watch a few more of them, but
it's just not. It didn't do anything for me. It's just it's not really my thing. I'm not bothered about horror gore fest.
No.
I'm just not fussed.
It was a fun watching experience though. The
the atmosphere was really good.
Yeah, the audiences where we were during some of the deaths were very vocal, and that was quite fun to enjoy. And I tell you what, it did do. Obviously, we kind of knew that the characters we were following the majority of them were probably going to die. And so there were some moments. Like there's one moment with the brother. I'm just going to go into spoilers now, so maybe skip ahead a few seconds. There's one moment with the brother where we think he is next on the list to die, and we're watching him in the tattoo room.
Yeah.
And we're all just anxiously waiting for him to die. And that was quite exciting, just being like, how's it going to happen? Because there were so many things that are going on that it could have been. Like he spilt like a flammable gas on the floor, and it could have been that. Or like his nose ring got caught on a fan somehow. And it could have been that. And it actually ended up being none of those things. And he actually survived that night.
Yeah.
Because of a technicality.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was perfectly fine, and we enjoyed the evening and all of that.
I tell you what I did enjoy, actually. I enjoyed how they represented the idea of death being there. So, like, in the tattoo room, there's, like, a bobblehead of, like, a skull. And whenever,
or it's, like, the wind chimes.
Yeah, whenever Death was, like, planning on making a move, he would almost, like, be, like, embodying something in that area. So, like, the bobblehead would start to rattle, the skull would start to rattle, and be like, oh, my God, he's here. Death's here!
Yeah.
Or, when, like, the grandma was like...
And it was the wind chimes.
Well, I guess seeing's believing. And, so that was quite cool. But the rest of the film is just fairly average.
Fine.
There's no
it's fine.
distinctive plot or consequences. I think I can say I've seen Lilo and Stitch. Oh, yeah.
I don't think I can say what I think about it yet. But I can tell you that we will have interviews with the Sydney Agudong, who's playing Nani.
Yes.
In next week's episode, as well as interviews with Dean Fleischerkamp, who is the director.
Oh, very cool.
Who's also the director of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Oh, I like that film.
And I spoke to him about how his film is on the top 250 on Letterboxd.
Marcel?
And Marcel is on the top 250. It's on the same list as La Haine and Seven Samurai and all of this.
Are they anywhere near rankings though?
We had a good giggle about it.
Are they anywhere like Wes?
Surely not. I think it might be relatively near Goodfellas.
Really?
Yeah, but I was just like, you're on the same list as these films. You've got a 4.2 average and you're on the same list as these films. How does that feel?
I enjoy it. Have you seen Marcel?
No.
I watched it and it was fine. It was fine. It was very cute, but...
I don't know what else we've got to catch up on. I think that might be it. Should we get into Wes Anderson stuff?
Do you want to talk about what other films have you seen recently?
I rewatched Ted 1.
Ted 1?
I haven't seen Ted 1 since I was like 15, and that was really good. And I've also watched the whole of the Johnny English series.
Oh, I love Reborn.
Oh, Johnny English 1 and 2 are so good.
So good.
It's a shame 3 is really not.
Not very good. I loved Reborn. I remember watching Reborn with my dad in the cinemas.
What was it? Sorry, what?
Johnny English Reborn.
Oh, Reborn.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I vividly remember watching that in the cinemas with my dad, and that was a fun watching experience.
I think it's wild that those films... The first film is my first introduction to John Malkovich, and then the second film is how the world was pretty much introduced to Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I think he did Johnny English Reborn and then did that Black Mirror episode.
What, like a million merits?
The cycling one. You know the one I mean.
Yeah, 1 million merits or something.
Like that. So yeah, Johnny English Reborn. Thank you for giving us Daniel Kaluuya.
Yes. What else have I watched? Well, I've watched quite a lot recently actually that we haven't really caught up on.
I've taken a bit of a hit in watching films.
I watched my 100th film last night, and I watched Heretic, the new Hugh Grant film, which was good, which I thought was really good actually. That's about a 3.5.
Yeah.
I've been going through some films I really should have seen by now. So I watched Total Recall the other day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was fine.
Yeah.
It does make me laugh though that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the highest earning actor of all time. He's made something like 1.3 billion in his movies, and he's not even that good of an actor.
No.
And it's hilarious because number 2 is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's exactly the same with him. He's rubbish.
Yeah, they're just
they're just
celebs.
blockbuster names, I guess. I then watched Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh, right.
Which was phenomenal.
I think that's Josiah's favourite film.
It's so good. You know, I love Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
I really love Bradley Cooper. He's great in this.
Jennifer Lawrence as well.
Jennifer Lawrence won her first Oscar for this, or her second Oscar. She's won 2. It was one of them for these. De Niro's really good in that as well. I also watched 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Because I had it logged, but I could not remember it to save my life. And obviously 28 years later comes out relatively soon. It looks very good.
Looks awesome.
28 Days Later was good. I gave it 3 stars, probably 3.5.
Yeah.
I rewatched Gone Girl. Oh yeah, after we watched Thunderbolt, I watched Thunderbolts, I went and rewatched Infinity War and Endgame because I wanted a good superhero movie.
Yeah.
I wanted a good superhero movie because I haven't seen one in ages.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I've seen all the new releases and I haven't seen a good Marvel movie in ages.
Yeah.
So I rewatched all of those. I watched Movie 43.
Isn't that like the worst reviewed film of all time?
It's up there. It's like that and The Room.
Yeah.
Which I personally disagree with.
Oh God, right.
Because it's about... Have you seen it?
No.
Basically, it's about these kids who have to find movie 43 and they end up watching just movies 1 through 42 and we see like 12 of them. And they've all got stacked casts. Like my favourite one was one with Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman. And Hugh Jackman's got testicles on his chin.
Right.
And it's just about her sitting at dinner with him. She can't understand the testicles because everyone else is acting like they're not there. And he puts the testicles on. He's holding a baby at one point on the baby's head, and he takes a photo with her, and they like swing against her face, and he gets food on them, so he like rubs them, and a pube falls off into his soup. It's very odd. It's very, very odd. But I thought it was quite enjoyable. I did give it 2.5, but the average Letterboxd rating is 1.7.
Oh yeah, I think you're in the minority there.
So
yeah.
I just find it quite funny to watch.
Yeah.
Because like, listen to this cast. This is hilarious. Dennis Quaid, Hugh Jackman, Kate Winslet, Jeremy Allen White, Liev Schreiber, Chris Pratt, Kieran Culkin, Emma Stone, Richard Gere, Jason Sudeikis, Uma Thurman, Kristen Bell,
That's obscene.
Chloe Grace Moretz, Gerard Butler, Johnny Knoxville, Halle Berry, Stephen Merchant. The Halle Berry Stephen Merchant one's quite funny.
The budget on that must have been insane.
Seth MacFarlane. There's just so many people. You could scroll down and down and down and find so many people. So I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I watched The Two Popes after the news that the Pope had passed away.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
I really wanted to watch Conclave after he died.
Oh, I watched that before.
I think Conclave had like such a resurgence after the Pope died.
I saw a post and it was like, viewing figures have gone up 184%.
They timed it so well.
So well. But I preferred Conclave, I think. But Two Popes is still really good. It's 2 amazing performances as well.
Well, wasn't that the year when Ricky Gervais hosted the Golden Globes and he made the joke about it's a good year for paedophile movies?
I have to beat that.
And you see the lead of the... What's his name? John something. He's like looking around disgusted at Ricky Gervais. Jonathan Pryce, that's it. Jonathan Pryce just looks disgusted at him. It's so funny. But yeah, no, you've been doing quite well.
I have.
We need to...
Scott Pilgrim, Caddyshack.
Yeah, we should probably get into our...
We should, yeah.
Wes Anderson... Wes Anderson segment. That's it. God, I'm losing my brain over here. Right, Wes Anderson.
Yes.
I like him a lot.
I either love him or don't like him.
Okay.
Which is odd, because he was my most watched director of last year. I tried to finish off his filmography and I've watched all of them but 2.
Yeah.
I've not seen Bottle Rocket and I've not seen Rushmore. So they're very much on the list.
Let's preface this. You haven't seen Bottle Rocket and Rushmore. I haven't seen Bottle Rocket, like half of French Dispatch, or Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah.
I've had that downloaded on my iPad for about a year, and I've just never gotten around to watching it.
I quite enjoy Life Aquatic. It's kooky, it's funny, it's...
And the casting, that's really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think the best way to go through this is to go through his filmography in release order, give some opinions, and then we're going to end the episode with a couple of Wes Anderson-esque games. So starting things off, the first film in Wes Anderson's catalogue or filmography
It's Bottle Rocket, isn't it?
is Bottle Rocket, which we have not seen.
Release date, earliest first. Here we
go. It's Bottle Rocket.
Then Rushmore.
Now, so we're not going to talk about Bottle Rocket, but that is the film that started the Wes Anderson, Owen Wilson
link up.
Collab.
Synergy.
But then following that, we get into Rushmore.
You're a big Rushmore fan.
Now, I absolutely love Rushmore. Rushmore stars Jason Schwartzman, Bill Murray.
Which starts the Jason Schwartzman collab as well.
Exactly. So Jason Schwartzman plays a student at a school. He's like captain of the chess club. He does like every hobby going that he can do at the school. He does archery. He's in the maths club. He does everything. And he falls in love with a older woman teacher called Rosemary, who's played by Olivia Williams, who is kind of seeing Bill Murray's character.
Okay.
But Bill Murray and Jason Schwartzman also have a friendship, so they're both kind of vying for this woman's attention, even though this woman is like a teacher at Jason Schwartzman's school.
Oh,
it's kind of a bit like odd in that regard, but I absolutely love it, and it ends with my favourite end credits song ever,
What's the song?
and that's "Ooh La La" by Faces. You know. Poor old granddad. Ooh la la, dun 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 dun, ooh la la. It's all about like growing up and
Ooh la la.
It's just really, really applicable to the film and the story. There is one scene which just feels very tonally dissonant that brings it down. Between the teacher and Jason Schwartzman. I'm just reading my review to refresh myself. But I do really love all of it. Max, Jason Schwartzman's character, is absolutely mental, and I love him. There's a line where he says that he saves Latin, like the language Latin. Also, all of his different friends are really fun. It's with it being Wes Anderson in his early stages, you get like a feel of his style.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't really kind of solidified his symmetrical cinematography, his vivid colour palette, but his kind of dialogue is there. The kind of quick-witted rapport, these very kind of distinctive, almost caricature characters.
Yeah. That's the thing with Wes Anderson, and in so many of his films, he is... A lot of directors have like one thing that you go, oh, that's so David Fincher, or that's so whatever. Whereas Wes Anderson has like 4 or 5 that just make his movies his. Like you say, the symmetry, like you can tell a Wes Anderson script from anything else. You could probably just read it from a piece of paper without knowing who it is and be like, this seems like Wes Anderson.
Yeah. And it's fun revisiting his earlier work because he's still kind of playing around with that. He's still finding it. And I really enjoy the early work for that. It doesn't feel too indulgent, and I feel like by now at this point I feel like he is kind of being a bit indulgent, but we'll get to that. So after Rushmore, it is
Royal Tenenbaums.
I love the Royal Tenenbaums so much.
I like the Royal Tenenbaums.
This film is... I don't know if it is my favourite Wes Anderson, but it is certainly... It's certainly up there.
I think I might rewatch it soon, because I've got it logged as a 2.5 stars. But I also remember not watching it properly. I was doing something else when I was watching it.
Royal Tenenbaums is easily up there for me. I think it is Wes Anderson's best character work. The Tenenbaums as a family are... They're so layered. Each one's so distinct. I love Ben Stiller in it. I think Ben Stiller's really good.
He was like the
in
best
it.
part of it for me, I think.
Well, Ben Stiller's great. I say this, but all of them are brilliant. Ben Stiller's brilliant. Luke Wilson, he's great. That one scene in the bathroom, oh my god, it's like harrowing.
Gwyneth Paltrow is very good in that. Gene Hackman, I forgot he was...
Gene Hackman is... Gene Hackman's...
as good as he always is.
Yeah, and especially I really like Angelica Houston as well. She's brilliant. It's just so heartfelt, and it feels so... There's so much care and love in that film. I think I've got it at a 4-star. I really, really love it. I'm just reading my review now. I forgot how much of a gut puncher the bathroom scene is with Luke Wilson. I would say that if you go into this film and you've got what's the word, a trigger warning for self-harm and stuff, everyone's got a good compelling arc. This is the thing, his style here is still finding his feet, but he's really hammering into this kind of coziness, this warmth in the cinematography. And it's a very kind of like orange, warm colour palette in this, and
yeah,
even though this is such an estranged family, it's always kind of love and warmth is permeating everything they do.
Agreed.
And I really like that film, and it's such an easy watch. It's not one of the Wes Anderson films like Asteroid City or French Dispatch where I'm like having to get like locked in to watch this film.
Yeah.
Tenenbaums I could stick on now, and I'd thoroughly enjoy Royal Tenenbaums.
I really enjoy it. I'm going to rewatch it again because I've not seen it.
Yeah,
in a
2.5
while.
is
I think I watched it in the first year where I was trying to watch more than 365 movies in the year. So it's fallen into the blur.
Yeah.
But next on the list is Life Aquatic, which you've not seen.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it. I gave 3.5 stars. And it's just about Bill Murray's character, Steve, who's just sworn vengeance on this shark who ate one of his crew.
Yeah.
And so he like assembles a team to go survey the ocean to try and find this shark. And as he does, he like comes across people from his past and his ex-wife, and you know that there's this journalist who's pregnant as well, and she's played by Kate Blanchett. She's such a fun character. Again, it's an easy watch. It is one you have to pay a little bit more attention to. I'd
say what this film signifies, even though Tenenbaums had like an ensemble family cast, I'd say this film signifies the start of Wes Anderson's like proper ensemble casts.
Yes. I think you're right. I think it maybe stems from here because a lot of his like multiple collaborations start here. Like Bill Murray is obviously in pretty much the majority of.
Well, Bill Murray's been in it since Rushmore. But like Owen Wilson's back again.
Yeah, Willem
Dafoe,
Dafoe,
back again.
Jeff Goldblum. I mean, his casts are always crazy.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Well, obviously I do because he's such an amazing director. But
Michael Gambon's there, another collaborator who was in Fantastic Fox.
Yes, of course. But it's just a fun watch. It's very stereotypically Wes Anderson. It's not his most but there is obviously the aspects of him putting his signature mark on it.
The bits that I have seen, it starts in a theatre as well.
Yeah.
And that's a running theme as well in most.
Because they're making a documentary of it.
Yeah.
They're making a documentary of Steve Zissou.
There's a lot of kind of theatrical elements in his films. Like this film opens
Asteroid
with
City as well.
Asteroid City is a play within the film or something. And his style is kind of evocative of a theatre.
He's very. A lot of his stuff could be plays.
Yeah, it's a lot of theatrical elements.
In a lot of his films, you see them move the set and stuff, don't you? Yeah.
And I kind of like that. It's almost Brechtian. This is getting a bit.
Yeah, so it's all very meta, isn't it? It's like they're referencing themselves and the story they're telling, and
it is Brechtian. You're right. It's the Brechtian V effect of you're watching a play, you're watching a story.
They want to remind you that you're watching a play. And
he's not so much wanting you to be immersed in the world. It's more so he wants you to remember that this is a tale, this is a story.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting in his work. I honestly never thought I would think of Bertolt Brecht again since A-levels, but
you have now.
Alas, here we are.
Next on the list, there was Hotel Chevalier, which is a short, again with Jason Schwartzman, but I've not seen it.
I really like Jason Schwartzman, but I have not seen that. Another film with Jason Schwartzman, though. Darjeeling
Limited.
Darjeeling Limited.
Was this Adrian Brody's first appearance?
I believe so. About three brothers travelling across India to put their mum to rest. It's like scatter ashes or something, I believe.
Yeah, three American brothers who have not spoken to each other in a year set off on a train voyage across India with a plan to find themselves and bond with each other to become brothers again like they used to be. Their spiritual quest, however, veers rapidly off course due to events involving over-the-counter painkillers, Indian cough syrup, and pepper spray.
But maybe I've made the spreading the ashes thing up, or I can't remember if that isn't a thing. I wasn't the biggest fan of this one.
I gave it 3.5.
I gave it 3. It's not my favourite.
I think what pulls me through with this movie is that the rapport between the three brothers is really good.
Yeah, because that's the main draw.
You have three amazing actors in Owen Wilson, Adrian Brody, and Jason Schwartzman, just leading this film, and I think you spend more time with these three characters because it is just about them rather than you said like the ensemble cast where everyone has to have their little moments like Asteroid City where everyone is kind of telling.
It's not multiple
a story.
facades.
Yeah, we're following these three, and they're so enticing to watch just because they're three amazing actors. So that really helps this film. this is a very Wes Anderson film. I think, like the color palette, the styling, the mise en scene. Hello,
I think I remember it being probably the most dialogue heavy.
Yes,
it's not as reliant on the visual storytelling in other things.
It's quite a short movie as well. It's only an hour and a half.
Yeah, but it is more dialogue, like
driven
and character driven, as opposed to the visual spectacle of it all. Not to say that it's not pretty. It's still very pretty, but it's not as reliant on that. Let's say
Bill Murray makes an appearance again.
Yeah. And then, next one is the biggie. But I say one of the biggies.
This
is
my favourite.
I would say that this one is probably the one which would probably put him on the map with this style.
This is the one with, I'd say, the most reach.
Yeah.
Because I think Wes Anderson's stories are very... This thing about Wes Anderson, he has the cast and he has the budget, but he never makes a lot of money because his stories aren't like globally like known or stuff like that. You know, like even it's hard to explain. People don't appreciate his movies as well as they should do, whereas this one is a universal story that people grew up with.
Yeah.
He's taken an IP that people know and he's made it Wes Anderson, and it did very, very well.
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I think this is his highest rated one.
I wouldn't be shocked if Grand Budapest is higher, to be honest.
Well, Fantastic Mr. Fox is a 4.3. Budapest is a 4.2.
Oh wow! But yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is utterly brilliant.
It's so good. This is probably my most rewatched.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson. I think.
I don't think you can fault it, to be completely
The voice
honest.
acting is gorgeous. George Clooney as Mr. Fox is
brilliant.
It's crazy how you can feel his personal charisma coming through just his voice.
I said this is the definition of charm.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very funny as well. Like, it's fun.
It's so funny.
Like
Pardon me. I think the source material is really good. Like, as I say, people love this Roald Dahl story, but it's and I think Wes Anderson is the perfect person to make this film. It's so good. Let's look at the cast: George Clooney, Meryl Streep, Jason Schwartzman, Willem Dafoe, Bill Murray. Like, these people, Wes Anderson voices Stan Weasel, Owen Wilson. You know, he's got all his amazing cast, plus these heavy hitters of like Hollywood, just giving these amazing performances. The animation is so good.
Oh, it's just
so good.
Stop motion at its finest. I really love Leica, and like the Tim Burton, you know, like Coraline and all that stuff.
Of course, Brian.
I really love all of that stuff. But I do think this is the best looking stop motion thing I've
agreed. Agreed.
It's just perfect for this story as well.
Yeah, I think I was going to say something there. I can't remember what.
The soundtrack's great. The soundtrack's really good. The colour palette's gorgeous. It's so autumnal and
I love how they did the voice acting for this as well. Like, they did it like
doing
in
it.
action.
Yeah.
Like, you can find online the scene where Mr. Fox, Badger, and someone else are on a bike.
Yeah.
And there's footage of them actually on a bike, like recording it, and they did it all on location. It's very interesting, and I think it's really great. It
seems stupid to say, but it is a very tactile film. You can feel everything that's going on because of the stop motion. It's just wonderful. I think probably the perfect stick the fire on, sat
easy
around
watch.
As a family in a blanket and just watch. It's utterly stunning, and if you haven't seen it in a while, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's one that like I said, it's my most watched one.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it even more every time.
Absolutely. Next up is Moonrise Kingdom, and you don't like Moonrise Kingdom.
No.
I love Moonrise Kingdom.
So I watched it very recently. Well, I gave it 2.5 stars. What?
You get 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars, yeah. I think this is what I mean when I say I either love him or I really dislike him. This one, I don't know, the story just wasn't for me, personally. Okay. I didn't like the characters we were following as much.
The two kids in love. That's all I wanted.
It just didn't... I don't know. There were some bits I did enjoy, like, you know, the standoff with the catapults and the bikes, and that was fun. But I don't know, this one just didn't grab me. And to be honest, I don't really think there's a particular reason for it. I just think I don't know. I just didn't click with it as well.
Right, I love this. I don't know whether I was just in a very emotional. I was on a long haul flight. I got locked into this film, and I was just, oh my god, it was brilliant. The addition of Bruce Willis to the Wes Anderson catalogue, I think, is inspired. I think that is such a brilliant choice. I love Edward Norton in this. Is really funny.
He's good in this. The Scoutmaster.
Frances McDormand again, another brilliant addition.
Yeah, she's good.
I would also say that Bob Balaban, who plays the old guy, this fella, the narrator bloke, I think he's a really good choice, and he's also in a few more. I gave it 4.5 stars.
Did you?
I said that this is the sweetest, most tender Wes Anderson film.
My two flatmates really like it.
I think it is so. Whereas Tenenbaums has a lot of heart, this is just so tender and sweet.
I completely agree with that. I think I just didn't like the vibe of this one. I don't know what it was.
It's a homey feeling story. In this film, I feel like Wes's methodological. That's it. His methodical way of composing shots. What did I say? It adds intimacy in this, as opposed to it feeling like in some of his films it almost distracts from the intimacy. It just, I don't know, it zones in on everything perfectly. What else have I said? I just think the core relationship between these two kids is lovely. And it also has the song Cuckoo in it. Yeah. Which I used to sing a lot when I was doing my grade 1 singing. So, I don't know. I really, really like this one, and I really hope it holds up to a rewatch, because I really, really, really
I think for me, a lot of the time, movies are really impacted by what state I'm in watching it.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
I wasn't excited to put it on. I don't know, I think maybe I was a bit hungover.
Yeah.
And so I just wasn't enjoying it from the start, and I was kind of just waiting for it to be over.
Yeah.
But I won't be rewatching it anytime soon.
Well, after that, we've got the one which everybody harps on about, which is Grand Budapest Hotel. Which I thought was really, really good. When I first watched it, I thought it was great. Has it stuck with me, though?
Well, we were saying this a bit earlier. I can't actually remember too much about it, but I've only seen it once. But this is definitely culturally his biggest hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, Ralph Fiennes leading the charge. I remember him being incredible as Favre. Is that his name? Favre?
I thought it was Gustav.
Oh yeah, where am I getting that from?
Yeah, it's Gustav.
Don't know where I was getting that from. I remember him being really great, and the rapport between him and the boy. What's he called?
Great question. His name is Zero.
I remember their rapport being really good.
And this is also just another stacked Wes Anderson cast. Jude Law, I believe, is probably his first appearance. Jeff Goldblum's back, Willem Dafoe's back, Adrian Brody's back, Bill Murray's back, Edward Norton's back. Saoirse Ronan is a nice addition. I think she's quite cool. Tilda Swinton's back.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson, it just insane.
Common denominator of Wes Anderson films. I really enjoy this film. I love the adventures they go on and the kind of the misadventures they have throughout the film, and I think it's really enjoyable. The scene that you see on YouTube Shorts all the time, or TikTok, where they're cutting the food.
Oh yeah. It's really good.
It's one of his most Wes Anderson films. By this point, he has nailed his style. Yeah. The colour palette in this is phenomenal.
It's probably his most visually pretty.
Yeah, and that's amazing because a lot of it is done with miniatures. Yeah. The hotel itself is a miniature model. I think that's really brilliant. I think it does that with a lot of his stuff. Again, the kind of theatrical aspect. Yeah. But there's no wonder why this is his highest rated and his most popular film, because it is brilliant.
Yeah. And then speaking of miniatures, the next one's Isle of Dogs, which I thought was good.
Love.
Good, really good.
Personally, love. Again, it's the same thing as Fantastic Mr. Fox. The stop motion, I think, is brilliant. The voice acting in this is so good. ScarJo's in it for the first time, I believe. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I think it's her first appearance. I think The story is great, like all of these dogs on an island and the young boy trying to find his dog. I think it's so sweet. It's so...
Greta Gerwig's in this as well.
Yeah, she's one of the voices, isn't she? The voices are great. I think the action is really, really good.
I believe this might also be the first Bryan Cranston appears.
Yes, you're right, yeah.
Which
he plays the
lead
lead dog, the rough one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I just love it.
I'm actually quite excited to come back tonight and stick on a Wes Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Which one are you going to watch?
I don't know, but I'm in the mood. Then he went back to his live action style with French Dispatch, which I couldn't finish, to be honest.
I wasn't a fan.
Well, in my last year before, I did his whole filmography, and by the time I got to French Dispatch, it was like I'd eaten too much candy.
Yeah, and you'd overindulged.
It's something that you need to. I think his style, you need to savor for a bit, have it as a treat.
It's a lot.
Because otherwise it is a bit bewildering.
It's like staring at a bright light for a while. Like,
yeah, and you don't respect it. You don't like enjoy it as much if you overindulge.
Yeah, I remember really because this came out in lockdown, didn't it? So it went straight to streaming, I believe.
Oh really?
And 2020 was it?
It was 21, so it might have been the last lockdown.
Well, I remember watching it in lockdown. I mean, really excited because there was like Timothée Chalamet, Frances McDormand. Everyone's in this, and I think what it was for me is that it was too Wes Anderson-y. It was too stylistic and. Then the choice of doing a lot of it in black and white, and I don't know, it just felt like there was too many things going on.
Vignettes.
There was too many things going on for me to enjoy and follow. I understand it's very artsy and whatever, but I don't necessarily click with when things are really artsy.
See, I said the same thing about his next film, which was Asteroid City.
I was going to see if I gave Dispatch a review. Well, I did not resonate with this film at all. Found the first hour or so quite boring, if I'm honest. It got better, but it just didn't sit well.
Yeah, I said something similar about Asteroid City. On my first watch through of Asteroid City, I did not get that film. I really struggled with that. And like, I know some people swear by that film. Like,
I enjoy it.
Seth absolutely loves that film. And he's like, oh, if you don't get it, you don't get Wes Anderson. I'm like, no, right. That felt like, and I said this about Here We Are, which was Stephen Sondheim's last show. It felt like Sondheim was doing a Sondheim. This felt like Wes Anderson was doing a Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I remember at the time kind of saying to someone that it felt like he was trying to be the most Wes Anderson he could possibly be. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the colour palette was so bright. I mean, I quite enjoyed this film, I have to say. I remember watching it in the cinemas and really enjoying it. I think part of that is to do with the cast and how well they carry the film and the script.
I think Steve Carell was
so
funny.
I'm a big fan of Steve Carell, especially in his like more serious works. I thought he was really good in this. Scarlett Johansson was really good as well.
Jason Schwartzman again. Anything?
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne's in this one as well, isn't he?
No, Jeffrey Wright is.
Oh, it's Jeffrey Wright. That's my bad. He was really good. I thought the cast did really well with...
Goldblum's back as well.
Goldblum's back. I thought the cast was just really enticing in this one. And I really enjoyed the story, actually, about this craze, like when the aliens come down.
Yeah.
Like, that's really funny. That's really, like, just on the nose, and it's just odd. It's wacky.
Yeah, and I need to rewatch it, because I don't think I was probably in the right... Like I said, I had overindulged. But then after that is when he released his 4 Netflix shorts. The wonderful, the Henry Sugar story is about half an hour long, and then all the others are about 5 minutes to 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, 5 to 15. Because then you got, well, there was Poison, The Swan, The Rat Catcher, and then The Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed all of it. I thought Swan was the worst of the bunch, I believe.
That's the one I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I gave this one 2.5, Poison 3.5, Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar, I didn't log.
Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar was really good though. Ben Kingsley, yeah.
Oh no, I did.
I like that edition.
I gave it 3.5,
yeah.
And then the Rat Catcher I gave 3.5.
Yeah, all really good. And I like Rupert Fiend. I swear that's his name, as a Wes Anderson staple now, because he did Poison, Rat Catcher, and The Swan.
Ray Fiennes?
No, Rupert Fiend?
Rupert Friend.
Friend, Rupert
Friend, it looks like.
Yeah, Rupert Friend. I like him. He's got a good face for Wes Anderson.
He does. And the same can be said with Benedict Cumberbatch, who is now obviously in the Phoenician Scheme as well. He's in the mix, which I think is a really nice mix.
I completely agree.
I love Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor, especially as an English actor.
Yeah.
Who's branched out kind of very much into that Hollywood world. I really love seeing him in things. And I think he chooses really interesting projects, actually. Obviously, MCU aside. Like The Imitation Game, I think is really good. Is he in Zoolander 1 or 2? 2.
2?
Where he plays...
the most perfect model.
Yeah, it's odd.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, I think there's a... Wes Anderson is a busy man. He releases films very often. And those 4 little drops on Netflix, I thought were all really interesting, really intriguing. I think, like I said, The Swan was the slowest one of the bunch. But still, like, it didn't harm anyone being 10 minutes long or whatever it was. I think personally, I'm not good enough with words to break down Wes Anderson enough. Like, Wes Anderson is a very complex filmmaker, and he has so much style in a lot of his films that I can't really put into words. I kind of just know whether I like it or not. And there are lots of people out there, like Seth, who's very good at putting into words and breaking it all down. Like, I was never good at writing the exams at school or anything like that. I just know how it makes me feel and what I like and what I don't like about them. But those 4 films were fun. I like those.
Yeah. And then we're at the end of it with the Phoenician Scheme, which I'm very excited about. Benicio del Toro is heading it up. Benicio del Toro.
Benedict del Toro. Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
You're adding an extra. Benicio.
I'm adding a Benicio.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro is heading it up.
I love Benicio del Toro.
Which is very cool. Michael Cera's joining the crew this time.
Yeah, he's a very Wes Anderson guy, I think.
And I was going to say the exact same thing about Richard Ayoade, who's joining. I think he will be...
Whenever he's on like a TV show, he has that kind of Wes Anderson rhetoric anyway.
But just the way that he talks.
Yeah.
It's just...
the dry humour.
Yeah, his manner of speaking works perfect for it. So, no, I'm quite excited. I've avoided the trailers.
Yeah, I've not seen anything.
I don't want to see anything. I'm swearing off trailers from now on.
For everything.
I did it for Sinners, and I'm glad I did, because if I'd have watched the trailers, it would have ruined a lot of it.
I've not seen the Sinners. I've seen one, but it was a while ago. I don't remember it, and I've still not seen Sinners.
I think in the trailer you see Haley Steinfeld as a vampire, so like, well, there you bloody go.
I can't remember. It's spoilers.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's what us. So let's do our top 5 Wes Anderson films. You go first.
So at number 5. For me, let me get my little list up. I have The Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
We're going number 5 first. At number 5, I've got The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Nice. That's quite low, I feel.
Yeah.
Number 4, I have Asteroid City.
Oh, wow, okay.
Asteroid City at number 4.
I think that's my lowest one, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, no, I think that's the lowest on my list, to be honest.
Oh, that's interesting.
Number 4, I've got Rushmore. I
need to watch it.
Love Rushmore so much.
I'll watch it. Go to my list.
You won't forget it.
Number 3, Isle of Dogs.
Okay.
Really
We've got very different lists.
Really love that film.
At number 3, I've got The Royal Tenenbaums.
Okay. That was 8 for me.
Wow.
But again, I was kind of just going off my ratings. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
Number 2, the GBH. The GBK.
Yeah.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Number 2, I've got Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh, really?
I love Moonrise Kingdom so much.
And then number 1, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
It has to be.
Number 1. I honestly don't trust people that don't have that at number 1. It's just perfect.
It's so good.
Is there anyone that you'd like to see join the Wes Anderson acting catalogue?
It's a great question. Thank you for asking it.
Anytime.
Let me do some research. Let me have a look.
I'm trying to think of people that have a distinct facial layout. I think Adam Driver could be quite good. I think Adam Driver could suit it quite well.
That's a really good one. Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen would be very
He's
cool.
got the Wes Anderson face. I don't know whether he'd have the rhetoric for it.
Yeah.
Because he's got a very specific voice, does Mads Mikkelsen.
And Wes Anderson writes in a very particular rhythm, and I don't see Mads Mikkelsen falling into that
Jesse Eisenberg.
Eisenberg would be
/
cool.
Kieran Culkin, actually.
Yeah,
I could see them both in there.
Those
I'm just looking at the films I've seen recently.
They could slip into that quite well. I think Adam Driver's probably my number one.
That's
pick.
a really good.
I'm trying to think of like older actors who could fall into it quite well. Someone along the lines of, I could see a Steve Martin.
Yeah, 'cause that's like the Bill Murray kind of vibe, isn't it? Yeah.
A Steve Martin or a Martin, not so much Martin Short, but Steve Martin I could see falling into it quite well.
That's a really good one. Who else could I see? Oh, someone like Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see him doing it.
He
likes... It's just like him and his portraying like Renfield. Is a bit Wes Anderson-y or...
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could see someone else immediately came to mind. Oh crikey! I want Ben Stiller in another one. Ben Stiller hasn't been in one since Tannenbaums, and I
has he done a film in a while? Because he's in his directing game now, isn't he?
Yeah, with Severance, isn't he?
Which I started the other day. I've watched the first episode.
I need to get into that, but no, I think I could see that easily happening.
Who else can I see?
Weirdly enough, Jessica Chastain.
I love Jessica Chastain.
She has a Wes Anderson face.
She does. What are your thoughts on... I don't think I personally like this, but I'm just seeing a few of his movies here. Glenn Powell.
I think he's too normal. He's too like... I don't know.
I think he's got the name for it, but whether...
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he'd be right for it.
Mark
Wahlberg. How about new?
I would say get Jeff Goldblum in a more prominent role.
Bob Odenkirk.
That's a shout.
That's a really good
see
shout.
Him in there. Bob Odenkirk could fall into it really well.
I could just see him being in like a close up from here, just talking straight to the camera.
Yeah, I could see that working really well. But he does like a rogue choice. I think Steve Carell's a rogue choice, to be honest, and that worked brilliant.
Rosamund Pike, I could see her doing it.
Yeah, I mean the catalogue is pretty much.
Yeah,
I could see Rowan Atkinson doing it quite well.
Oh my god, perfectly.
I could see Rowan Atkinson falling into it brilliantly.
Perfectly.
Same with Hugh Laurie, really. Any of that Blackadder cast could actually do it quite well. But you get Rowan Atkinson playing almost a similar role as he played in Love Actually, but in... I could see that as a Wes Anderson character.
Yeah.
You know, like perfectly rapping and thing.
It is weird, isn't it, how you could see, like, some people would fit so perfectly in, and some people you'd be like, no, I couldn't see them doing it.
I wouldn't see, I don't know, like, Margot Robbie wouldn't... Well, no, she has done.
She's in...
She did Asteroid City.
Asteroid City, yeah. Very briefly, though.
Yeah, I don't know, but, like, Brad Pitt...
No, he'd never do it.
It's like, I don't think it suits big... blockbuster Hollywood. I mean, having said that, I mean, you look at the cast of some of these, it is big Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah.
People, but you know, Brad Pitt, Jason Statham, like.
Could you imagine
in a Wes
Jason
Anderson
Statham in a Wes Anderson film?
I'm delivering this parcel to the Grand Budapest.
I'm the delivery man. I can't. I've quit.
I'm the Fantastic Fox.
There's a job.
We're stealing chickens. Joe Pesci would do it.
Boris, no, what's the song from Fantastic Fox? Boggis Bunsen Bean.
One short, one tall, one mean. Hey, Bean. Yeah. Right. Anyway, that was our Wes Anderson little chinwag. I've had a wonderful time, and I'm gonna go and watch Rushmore tonight, I think.
On the agenda for me to watch is weirdly the movie Secretary. I'm gonna watch next. It's just come on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna. Nice. Yeah,
Brilliant.
We've spoken about Wes Anderson tonight, and today, I'm going to a Wes Anderson themed dinner.
You are.
Universal, I think.
Good. Great. Hopefully that's not Universal. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to follow the podcast on the Scene Stealers podcast pretty much everywhere. Leave a like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow myself on Tobias Turley on Letterboxd, because we never say that anymore.
No.
And Tobias _Turley on Instagram ? Yeah, that's correct.
And I'm Henry Calvert, and you can follow me if you want.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.